Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In our today's video, I'm gonna share this amazing Bajar e-commerce website with you, and also all the source code. I'm gonna provide that for you. And this website having a two separate part. One is that admin and another is the client. In the client side, we are using that React, the Vite.js application to create that, and also using that Tailwind CSS, then also the Firebase authentication, and beside the motion and other properties. And in the server, which is technically to creating all the server for Stripe payment authentication, we are using that Stripe and Node.js and other properties. Now, first of all, you may have been seeing this video so far here, which I thank all of you for watching this video. Now this one is built with just create React app and it's not updated for the Firebase authentication. Stripe payment is all are backdated. So what I did, I updated the entire code base and I'm using the TypeScript to create this entire application. And no worries about that, all the source code, the repo, I'm gonna provide that to you and it will be in the description below, and I'm gonna show you how you can clone and set up all of those things from the scratch. So first of all, let's just combine to see what kind of things we are having here. First of all, I'm gonna go and showcase to you about that router setup here. As you see, we have our profile. I'm gonna log out, so we'll go in the first instances. And here, as you see, we have our header and other properties. And by the way, this is fully responsive. As you can see, this fully responsive, all the pages created here is full, it's supporting all the responsiveness for the smaller devices to the bigger devices. And here you can add the product to the cart, and also you can visualize the product. You can go in the single page and then you can add to cart from here also. And by the way, we have two sidebar button here, one for the profile, another for the cart, just to go directly over there. And as you see, also at the bottom, we have the specifications here for the brand, model, color, weight, and warranty, and the delivery information is just right here. So everything is properly aligned to go with that. Also, we have a shop page where we are having all of our products properties here. As you see, you can just go through and view through it. And okay, we will just try to add some more product, and as a customer, we are adding product, but we want to see our card. Let's click on the card, and as you see, we cannot just go have a blink on the card because our authentication parameter is stacking here. And also, if we just try to go and view the profile, nothing. It will directly let you to become backing over here in that authentication parameter to sign in. Here we have a three separate portion. One is the email and password, another is the OAuth. We will focus on the OAuth, and both OAuth is working as for the sign in with Google and sign in with GitHub. Let's go with the Google, and for the Google, as you see, it's taking a separate pop-up window, and we can just click on it and make the sign in here. So we sign in, and now we can view our card, and in the card we can just list a single product from here, or we can receive the entire card with an alert, and we can do that. So let's just go and do the things again. I will add a little bit product here. So if we go in the card, as we're having the product, we can increase the number, and as you see, we have 600 over here. And in our previous parameter in the transaction list, we should be able to see figure out 170. It was our previous value for the checkout. Now we can create a checkout method here. If we click on the proceed to checkout, you see the processing for payment. So the loader is working. And after loading instances, we are just coming back here in our checkout stripe.com page. Now from here, we can see the details of the product here. And by the way, this project is not written in Next.js, it's in Vite.js. So you can have a very good test of monistic development because we are creating a route using Express.js. We are using the Firebase instead of MongoDB. We're just using here the Google Firebase. That's the differences, but all other parameter is right here. So first of all, I'll go with the default parameter, which is 4242, just to create the checkout, and 123 for CBC, provide a card holder name, and hit pay. So right now we can processing on the payment, and after the payment is done, we are coming here in our success page where you can see our card is empty and our product, just payment is successfully made. So we have all the things properly done. So first of all, everything is here for you, but how you can grab that? And by the way, we deploy that product too. So if we just go and make that budgetpro.reactbt.com, you can find the deployed version here. So that's for the reference. I'm going to remove these two localhost, because what we're going to do right now is to clone it and run it locally. And if you just follow the same step what I'm gonna do right now, you can have it. Doesn't matter you are a coder or non-coder, you can do it too if you are following all the steps which I'm going to explain right now. So to do that, that's our setup, right? That's the repo which we are having here. So now what you need to do, either we can go and we can download that one here, or you can just open it with your GitHub desktop. But the one of the easiest way to clone that one, just copy this one and just take an empty folder like me, and here you can open your terminal, or you can open your CMD or anything. Just open the terminal as soon as possible. Then right now you need to check two separate things here to just make sure that you have these two things in your local machine. If you just put that node_v and node-b, so you have the node, I have the node 20.15. so if you doesn't have the node, you can go directly here, make that node.js.org.en. you can download the LTS version, and also you can download the git here to run the GitHub. So the both link, it will be in the description. If you doesn't have that, you just download it and configure it, because if you just check in the git, I am also having okay, git -- version maybe. Okay, I have the git and everything is properly aligned. So just run a single command, which is git clone, enter the repo link. Now it's gonna clone my entire project which I'm having in the repo. So now as you see this one, and don't worry about it, time to time it will be updated, and better you can fork that one. It's a very simple way you can do that. Either you can clone, or you can just fork it, or you can make an start mark, so whenever the changes is coming, you are going to know that one beforehand. So I'm gonna update it, because there is a lot of things to room for developing, because you see the blog categories favorites, either you can use it or give a little bit time. I'm gonna use it, add it day by day. So it's up to you how you are going to configure that. So as you see, I cloned that one, and if I put ls, you can see the Badger e-commerce app is right there. I'm gonna go within that project, so I'm gonna change directory. So it will be, let's say, Badger-e-commerce and -app. Oh, I made a mistake. So cd, let's say Badger, and that should be ECOMMERCE, then app. Okay, if I put ls, I'm in the right place. So I have the admin and I have the client. So let's just open it within my code editor, code space dot to open it in Visual Studio Code. So it just opened in my editor. I can close it. And by the way, you can use any other editor, like you can use the cursor, you can use the WebStorm. That's up to you, whatever the editor you are preferring. And also you can see, check in your folder, you can just open it. Also from here, you can open that one with code, whatever the way you feel preferable. Now here, after cloning that, what I really recommend you just go in view, or you can just open directly the terminal. And from the terminal, I want you to take two separate tabs. So I'm gonna just open it in my git bash. So I'm gonna take two separate git bash terminal. So in the first one, I'm gonna go cd into admin, because now if you put ls, I'm in my root directory. I have admin, I have client, and this .gitignore file just to ignoring whatever the other files which I don't want it to be go in our GitHub repository. And no worries about that, this admin and client, I'm gonna go one by one, which is really in a very quick way, which you can make you sense on it. So let's go into cd in admin, and then nn, I'm gonna make that npm install. So I'm using the npm. If you're using the yarn or pnpm, just to be remove that package -log.json for both of the project. Then you can use your yarn, or you can use the pnpm install. Both will work perfectly. And by the way, if you see our packages, our application is all are up-to-date version, so you can use it blindly, that everything gonna work perfectly. And then I'm gonna make npm start, as I'm using that one as a server, so npm start will start my server. So that's the one thing. The next command here, let's go cd into client and it should be npm install, or you can just put npm I and npm run dep to start our application in local development. Now whenever you're gonna run this one, as you see the server, now let's just go and talk a bit about the server. In the server, I'm just going to have a single route, right, which I'm running in localhost 3000, localhost 8000. If fallback is 8000, then 8001. So that's the single checkout route which we create. Now the setup is done. You can create multiple route, multiple instances as you prefer. Now here, because the Stripe checkout payment, you cannot do it in client side. You need to create a server if you are going to perform the Stripe checkout payment. That's the rule. So you need to follow that. So because you cannot expose the secret key. Now here, what we did to just implement that one, just to use that secret key, as you see, we are using that one from that .env file. If we just go at the, I think we are using directly the Stripe. If we go live and Stripe, as you see, we are using the Stripe secret key. So we have .env file here. So here in that Stripe secret key, we need to have our secret key. And from where you can find. To get this Stripe secret key is pretty simple. You just need to log in Stripe, then create one account here. Then after on the account, you need to go in developer options, and from the API skill section, you can grab it. And on the API, you see the secret key, that will be the secret key. I just hide it because I don't want to see you the code here, because then I need to change the entire secret key. So here you're going to get it, one publishable key, one ULP secret key. You just need to grab that secret key. Okay, so after having the secret key, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in my code here, and I'm gonna just copy my previous secret key which I used for my application. I'm gonna just grab it, that one here, and hit save. So after saving that one, I'm gonna close that, and it's better if we go and npm start again to start the server one more time, and it's gonna just go out from the error. Let's go see that client, what is happening in the client is still installing, because in the client we are using lots of packages. Oh, okay, it's done. So if we can now open the localhost of 51732, so it's opening here. Now this one is the reference. If we go, we can also open here that localhost 8000. If you cannot open that, means there is a problem. See, you might not be in the right place. So that's the line which we are getting from our friend here in the index file. You can see that's the one line which we are providing and grabbing here. Now, what's happened in the client? We are not viewing anything. It's happening because if you see the inspector, go to the console, you see the Firebase error. The Firebase error, auth invalid API dash key. It's because if you just see closely in our client, we have one file, because in env local, it's just we're accessing our public URL. You can just change the URL whenever you're gonna deploy that one. But what is happening is that this firebase.ts file. So this is the credential which we need to get: API key, auth domain, project ID, storage bucket, messaging sender ID, app ID, measurement ID. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new application for you, so you know what's the things going to happen, and you need to follow this setup, because this one we did it in lots of the video. And still, if you're having problem to configure that, let me know in the comments. I will try to help within that parameter. That's very simple. Create your account, grab the just grab the secret, and it will work perfectly. And by the way, if you're thinking this video is helping you to learn something new, hit the like button and subscribe the channel, because lots of viewers, if people are not subscribed, just click it, just subscribe it. So okay, fair enough. So now what we can do, we will create a new Firebase app. Now first of all, Google is changing, so there is a lot of changes, so that's why I want to show you so that you can just easily grab it. Now I'm going to provide the name as Firebase YT. Hit continue, enable Gemini in Firebase. If you want to go, it's recommended. Let's go, it's free AI, and it's helpful. So we don't want to analytics. I don't want to make that application so heavy. And whatever the credentials I'm gonna grab right now, don't copy paste, because I'm gonna delete that before uploading this video. Okay, so just give a little bit time to create the application. Okay, our application is ready. Click on continue and automatically it will take back us to our Vite YT. You can also go back to the menu. You see that one is added, so let's go inside it. And now here from there is iOS setup, there is Android setup, and we want to set up in web, right? So click on that configuration. So right now what we need to do, we need to register our application. It's better to go with the same name, but you can use a different name also. Register the application, and I don't want that Firebase hosting for this app, so it will just ignore that one. And now what you need to do, you need to install the Firebase. Now all the dependency which is necessary for this project is all are installed in the package, so no worries about it. Whatever the package mandatory is right there, so you don't need to worry about that. So what I need from here is that these three key, that's the 6 key from here, and I'll go in my firebase.ts file and paste it directly. So all are in TypeScript, so you will not get that much error, and continue to console. And from there what I need to do, I need to create that, like check that authentication parameter. And from this authentication, click on get started. And as we have the both setup, we can go, because if you go back here in our application layer, and let's just go try to go in our source, and let's go in the lib and utils, not in the utils. I think it's somewhere we make the setup for API index, and I think I'll go in the pages, go in the login pages, so you can see what's actually happening here in the sign in parameter. I think yeah, we have some setup. You see the Google login, okay, login auth Google, so it's in the component layer. So if you go in the component, okay, just Google login, so that's how it's just setup is done. I'm going to show you in a way. So first of all, we need to just enable that Google authentication, enable that one, use your email, save. And after saving that, the Google authentication will be enabled. And also if you just let it be enabled, and also if you go here in that console.cloud.google.com, no worries, the link it will be in the description, so you can just click and go. And here as you see, I'm using my Google account to log in. So if we select here and click on all, you can see the Vite YT is created. And if you just check in our credentials here, in the credential we are actually accessing the credential which is generating by the Firebase, because it just created from there. So all the things is right here, its setup is done. You see, everything is good. So our application layer is good, and also the authentication parameter working perfectly. If we just hit reload, I think we can view our application layer. Now this one is coming from the previous caching. I'm going to remove that, and let's go back here and try to add some product, because we want to try to make a payment. So click here, we can go with the Google, and for the GitHub, make a research. And if you did it, let me know in the comments. If you cannot do it, also let me know in the comments. I'll help you that, because our deployment version also it will be available. If you are feeling free that show the deployment, I will show it how you can deploy, because as you see, we have the deployment configuration, and all the deployment configuration is also done here. You see in the Vercel.json file, which is responsible to deploy the frontend, and also for the backend, both are applicable. So let's go back in the cart and let's go proceed to checkout. And as you see, the same configuration is happening, same manual things is happening, means our project is working as the way it's supposed to be. So let's just click that 35123 and put a name. 320.99 payment should be done within this parameter. So 320.99 done. If we just reload, we should be able to get our payments. Okay, let's see. Okay, done. So it's really simple to do in that way. Now here there is a lot of room to improve. You can enable your block, you can enable your categories, you can enable your fabrics. That's up to you. And also there will be a link by which you can also get the production grade, because I have some more setup here. If you want to buy that, buy it. Otherwise, I think this one which having the link here, this is enough to get entire things and run it locally and test it, because all the code you're gonna grab it. And now I'm gonna just go a little bit quick overview of the code, so you know you're gonna have an idea that you are not lost totally. Okay, so if you are already know my video, you can leave the video and just clone and start building. And if you're new here and if you're lacking to understand that, stay with me a little bit because I'm going to explore how the things going to happen. Now for the admin, as you see, that's the starting point for the index file, and then we create a, because all the setup, all the dependency how we can use it just here. Then we have our routes, and here in the routes we created the checkout instances, because from there we create a post method and we are getting the request body, and from there we extracting the item and email. We are just making the item as how the Stripe can take it, and then we are just flagging that origin. And by the way, there is one more thing is there, which is we can say we can also grab that one to use that our invoice URL, but right now I'm not doing it, but you can do it if you want. So from there we are creating a session, and then we are passing the session.url to the front end. And now in the client we have the little bit setup here, which is we have the main file here, and here is all the route. And by the way, we are using the React router, the latest one, and if you just see in the package, the React router package version should be latest. Yeah, as you see 7.1.1. It's not React router DOM anymore, it's simply React router, fresh router. Then here we have our root layout. It's kind of things which I love to do to capture in layout, and in here we use the store. For the store we use that Redux toolkit here. Then we have our persist gate to save everything in local storage. We have our header is called restoration. We have the side menu, then our outlet and footer, and then also for the toaster configuration. And on that we are declaring the path element. We have app, login page, a shop, product, single product page, favorites, cart, orders, and profile, success, categories, blog, and not found. By the way, if you just click something here, blah blah blah, you can find a very good enthusiastic not found. For not found, oops, it seems the page you're looking for has vanished into thin air. Don't worry, even the best bookings sometimes go astray. Just a rhetorical message, so you can ignore it. You can make your own message if you like to. So right now, as you see, all the configuration is done here, but one thing is here, this product data. What is that? That's the where we are using this fake store API server. Now you can use your own server. You can use some separate setup if you want, because I'm just grabbing the products from here. You can use there is a fake store API, there is the dummy JSON data. You can use those things API or JSON placeholder data to grab the product. That's up to you. If you want to change the URL, just change it here. Okay, then whenever you are fetching the product, you can just change the method here. Wherever you are calling that method, you know, the product data, how you gonna call and how you gonna prefetch. If you see in the app, we are just grabbing that one, passing that data as the loader data. So that data is loading whenever my page is loading, you know. So it's a very easy way to load data using that like the React router. So you know, it's pretty simple in that way, but if you have some different method, you can use it as well. Now in the structure here in the API, which I'm just putting that one, that routing setup, I have my asset for the banner. All the banner asset is right here, and all the other image which I used here is right here. Then we have our index.ts file, from a single file how we dynamically use that entire asset. Then we have our components, and by the way, we use that Session UI too, because this component badges, you see, is coming from Session UI. So it's integrated here. You can directly get session, just comment the Session UI library and it will work perfectly. We have the login setup, and in the login we have the two setup variation, one for the GitHub login, another is for the Google login. For both parameter is working perfectly fine. As you see, we just need to implement that one from the Firebase, because all the provider, all the setup, if you just closely look back in the Firebase, which I forgot to explain you, because after passing that variable, you see we are checking if the app is running or not. Then we are declaring the app, we are passing the DB from here, passing the auth, passing the provider. So everything we are exporting from here. You can just integrate the Firestore if you wanted to. Now what is happening here on the components, all the components library is right here, the base component, banner, cart item, coming soon, everything is right here. Then we have our constant for the static data. In the static data we use the header data, banner data, and others we're declaring from here. We have our leave, where the utils function is there. That's the simple Tailwind CSS integrated for the class value is is the way we can just pass a different like as a children we can pass the classes. And you can see the example here in the container. You can see how we integrate it everywhere. I try to use that. If you're familiar with the session UI, you know what it worked. And now we have also the pages where we are passing all the pages. We have like our blog, card, categories, favorite, login, not found page, orders, product, profile, shop, success. All the page integration is right here, and you can just go through all the file. It's pretty simple. If you're familiar with my coding, that's the same manner which I tried. Don't freak out. It's in TypeScript. It's pretty simple, working same like the JavaScript. And then we have our Redux, which we are integrated the Redux store. And by the way, we use that persistent reducer, and we go with the flush, rehydrate, post, everything. And then we have our slices where we are passing that product data, user info, and how the way we are handling add to cart, increase quantity, decrement quantity, and delete item, visit cart, add user, remove user. So this the an overview for our client, and these types all are passing here: the products type, user info, and the store state. And for all the setup parameter, you can also, I'm gonna just implement the readme file scenario here. I'm gonna like whenever you're gonna clone it, you're gonna have a proper readme file here in that one, which gonna say what all are the things you need to recommend, or I'm gonna just pass it here in the routes. Okay, I'm gonna provide that one soon. So all the best. I think you can grab that one and then create entire things properly. And if you cannot run, if you're still facing problem not running properly or not working properly, screenshot that one or write the proper error message. You are writing the comments, and you know we're getting busy and we have no time to go with interact with that, but try to come up with a proper message, the proper error, and with a screenshot or something, so I can really go and help with that. Okay, so all the best to create this entire project. I will be very happy if you can create and if you deploy. Now anyone from here can deploy. Please share the link, and the first 20 person who deployed that and having a direct link, having in the comments, the first 20 person, I'm gonna put a draw, and then the winner, I'm gonna provide a perfect gift for you. No worries. Whenever you are, wherever you are in the world, I'm gonna parcel that gift for you. Trust me, if you can success on the 20% I need, if you can do it, I'm gonna share the gift for you. So all the best, and hope you can copy that one, fork, or put a star mark, you know. I'm gonna like that one. And by the way, there is a lot of people who is, I am now 500 plus followers here. If you just check in my profile here, thank all of you. I think because this is the only platform from where I'm growing all of these followers. So thank you very much for following me along. All the best. I will try my best to provide some more code, more features, more projects. So I think it can really help you. So first of all, what I'm gonna do in this link over here, I'm gonna pass that one my website link here so you can have a value. So e-commerce project for educational purposes. Okay, and also for the topic, I can pass that e-commerce just to grab that continuity, and e-commerce website, React.js, and React.js e-commerce. Is it coming? Okay, I think that's one enough. Okay, so now you can clone it and work it perfectly, and all the best. So I will be love to that if you finish it and did the good things with that. And please subscribe the channel and stay tuned, because a lot of other projects is coming along. And all the best for this one, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.